The CTS was really the first mark for Cadillac in its rebirth and rebranding into something more than an old person's luxury boulevard car. The CTS in its original form was meant to go after the BMW 3 and 5 Series. The second generation was significantly better than the first, to the point it was well recognized throughout the industry. Now with this third generation, does that evolution continue? Now seriously targeting the BMW 5 Series and Mercedes E-Class, can the CTS hold up to that? Well, today here on Rumblestrip.NET and 10-minute test drive, we're going to have a look at this CTS Cadillac. This one is the V-Sport. As we said, this is the third generation Cadillac CTS, and with the last generation of CTS, and we drove pretty much every variant, the four-door sedan, the wagon, the coupe, and the CTS-V in wagon trim. You know, one of the things that always struck us is the first few days you drove it, you're sort of like, yeah, okay. And then the more you drove it, the more you really liked it and really enjoyed it. You don't have that, I guess, issue with this one. Pretty much straight away, this has been a very good car. It's been very comfortable to drive, very quiet, easy to drive. It'll get to triple-digit speeds on the freeway with zero effort. And there were more than a couple occasions we were just rolling down the freeway and just glance at the heads-up display here, and it's like, oops. Yeah, as Matt Farrow would say, we were doing around 11 miles an hour. But that's how good this is on the highway, just how easy it is to drive, how quiet and effortless it is. That's not to say it's just some boulevard cruiser. It's not. It definitely has a sporty side. In fact, we're currently driving this in track mode. And yes, it definitely does firm up the suspension a lot. Not to be obnoxious, but you definitely feel the difference. It's helps the steering, or excuse me, helps the throttle just a little bit. Throttle seems close to the same, but it definitely pipes a little more sound into the cabin, and just like every other car these days, much of the noise is a bit synthetic in that it's usually using the stereo system to pipe in additional intake and exhaust noise. It's not obnoxious, it doesn't feel terribly artificial, but it's, you know, it's there. So here is, let's just go through this really quick. This is in track mode. All right, and then we'll scoot down a couple modes to Tour, and we'll slow down a little bit here, and then back into the throttle. So maybe not as much of a difference as you'd think, but there's a little bit there. There's definitely a difference in gear change when you're letting the system do it. This is a very wonderful 8-speed gearbox in here. We have no complaints whatsoever about the transmission in this. And just to kind of emphasize once again about the highway speed, at 85 miles an hour in eighth gear, you're turning 2,200 RPM. That's part of what makes this thing feel so effortless going down the highway. And I mean, even just here on this 2-lane road going around 60 miles an hour, we're having to check our speed just because it's wanting us to really put the throttle down and drive hard. We like that. Any car that encourages or gives you the feeling that you need to drive it harder is a good thing. As far as the interior goes on this, it's really well done. There are a couple things that we're not fans of. We'll get to that in a second, but All the leather in here is nice and supple. It has a carbon fiber look that's more in the trim. That's more than the usual hydro-dipped plastic with carbon fiber kind of look to it. This actually looks a little bit more carbon fiber-ish and actually has a 3D look to it. As we're behind a Porsche 991 Cabriolet. Yes, it is a little too wide in the back, but yeah, it still looks pretty good. Yeah, we'll follow him. What the hell? Ooh, it's a Carrera 4S too. So you'd think he'd want to hustle along a little bit. Oh well. Back to the CTS. So the trim in here, which is, the carbon fiber look here on the dash and even on the doors, has a 3D effect to it, and it's actually nicely done. Things we don't like about the interior are, just like everyone else has complained about, the queue system. It's maddening. Hopefully we'll have a chance to do a little B-roll here and walk you through trying to punch in an address into the nav system, because you can't. Or if you can, even pulling out the book to tell you how to do it still didn't work. So I don't know. So that was horrible. And it works okay in some ways. In other ways, it's wonky, and there's menus buried 4 layers deep that you'd like to get to that are a pain in the ass to get to. So it's just, as so many other people have said, it needs a rethink, and we'll just let it go at that, because there's little use to complaining more about it. The other thing, honestly, we're not huge fans of is the instrument cluster. And instrument cluster is, again, one of those air quotes words, because it's just a screen. And the issue that I have with it is the artificialness of it. One of the things that I really enjoy in the Audis and even the Mercedes is the gauges are a bit of jewelry. It gives you that extra bit of luxurious look and feel. Here, this is just an LCD panel. And it's not even a high quality LCD panel. It's sort of like iPhone 3 kind of quality. It's certainly not Retina display at all. I mean, you can see the pixelization in the numbers. The sweep of the hands on the speedometer and the tachometer are not smooth. You can see the movement in them. The electronic kind of, you get what I'm saying, right? I'm sure this saves a bunch of money over real gauges. And in a tech standpoint, yes, it's kind of nice, because then you can put all kinds of extra menu items in here. And some of them are great, some of them are just, okay, whatever, you're just doing it for tech's sake. I'm not a fan. Other people like it, us not so much. So back to ride and handling. Really good. I'm sure everyone's heard about the horrible winter that we've had here in Southeast Michigan, because everyone's bitched about it, including us. And the roads are atrocious. This thing has handled the potholes fantastic. Sort of been cringing over some of the potholes, just waiting for the alert that we've got a flat tire, and we haven't. So thank you. Changed enough tires this winter from potholes to be good for about the next 4 or 5 years. Fuel economy is okay. Generally about 18, 19 running around in the city. Highway 27 and a half is what we did on one 65-mile highway run. So, it's not bad. Actually, in a lot of ways, pretty good for a full-size vehicle with this kind of power and a performance lean to it. So you can't really complain about that. Pricing on this, though, here's where it gets a bit sticky. Okay, the CTS has definitely stepped up the quality of the vehicle, both fit and finish, body structure, the materials in the interior, and everything about this is better. And it's larger. It's, I believe the wheelbase is 4 inches larger than the last one, And at the same time, they've dropped some weight, always a good thing. But what went up with all of that is the price. This, as it sits right now, pretty much fully optioned, is just shy of $70,000. So there's no bargain to be had in this thing. So this really has to go on the merits of when you're looking at the pricing, it has to be able to go toe-to-toe with everything else, with Audi, Mercedes, with BMW, at that price level, because it's pretty equally priced with them. And really, we would be nitpicking on a few things, especially what do we like better, Audi and Mercedes versus this. There's certainly a number of things we like, and as we've mentioned, interior-wise about the Audi that we like a lot better. It drives fairly similarly to the Audi. Impressive. Obviously, this one is a rear-wheel drive vehicle. The Audis we've driven are all-wheel drive. Mercedes, all right. Have not driven the latest 5 Series BMW, but all reports, it's, the new 5 Series is the old 7 Series for all intents and purposes. So does it stack up? How does it hold up? Really good. Very impressed with this vehicle. The styling is a tale of two styles for us. Everyone raved about it when it came out a year ago at the New York Auto Show, almost a year to the date from when we're filming this thing. And we agree from the A-pillar forward, it's spectacular. The nose of this thing is great. The sculpting of the hood, some of the body lines, the headlights, love it all. I think it's fantastic. Unfortunately, I think they forgot from the A-pillar back, it looks really standard. Just very average. Nothing special. Well, better than average, but nothing special. How's that? So, we wish they would have gotten as stylish as the front was. We wish they would have done a little more with the side view and definitely with the back view, but can live with that. So to wrap it up, our overall opinion of the CTS V-Sport Cadillac. It's excellent. It really is excellent. Even given the $70,000 price tag on this thing, we would recommend this vehicle. Whether you prefer it to the Audi, the Mercedes, the BMW, that's something where you're going to have to drive them back and forth because different people are going to want different things for it. There is no universal answer. But we think that this Cadillac can go toe-to-toe with the world's best. Hey, if you like this, please remember to favorite it, to like, and to subscribe. Everything you do to that to help to get the word out helps. The more you like it, the more visible we are, and the more you share it, hey, the more people that get to see it. Thanks again. We'll see you next time on Rumblestrip.NET and 10-Minute Test Drive.